Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Fulfilled Musicpreneur podcast. Now, I hope you've had a lovely weekend. Happy Monday, even though it's nearing the end of the day here in the UK. um, I had an amazing weekend, um, and I wanted to share my takeaways from it. So I attended a VIP weekend with some other ladies. It was organized by a group called Queens in Business. It's essentially a group that was started by four businesswomen with different strengths. So they essentially came together and formed a business to mentor other women in business. And we had our VIP weekend over the weekend, and I got to go. It was a small group, but it was even more impactful that way. Lots of amazing takeaways. But I think there was one that really stayed with me. Um, it really just shifted how I see things, and I thought I will share about that today because we are approaching the end of the first quarter in 2024. I don't know about you. I don't know what goals you had or what goals you wrote down at the start of the year, but I got to chat about my goals and some of the things that I had put on my vision board, and I got challenged. And I wanted to talk about that today. So, first of all, I'm talking about the power of transformational goals on your journey, either just as a person, as a parent, as an entrepreneur, or as a musicpreneur like me, right? And the way we've been taught to set goals, I see someone is watching. Say hi, let me know who's watching. I would love to know and greet you properly. Um, so the way we've been taught to set goals are very mechanical. So for me, especially as a doctor, we use the mnemonics SMART goals. Um, so specific, measurable, achievable, time, limited, and well, I don't remember the last R, but essentially, it's very mechanical, right? So you could end up putting things like, okay, I want to have 5K months, I want to have 10K months, you could put money on there because of course money is very measurable, it's very specific. You could say, I want to have this amount of clients this year. So I remembered that I was saying I would like my music and coaching, my business to impact 100 people this year. In other words, through the year, I want that many people to have heard me speak, listened to my podcast, um, been impacted by either my music, my trainings, my challenges, And I thought, oh, 100, that's a good number. And I remember also putting um, that it would be amazing to get on a magazine cover. And this year I wanted to focus on visibility to let people know about what I was doing because I thought they needed to know so they could take advantage of what I was doing because I thought it was so important. I'm talking about mental wellness, mental health improvement, mental health skills for teenagers. And I'm just so passionate about that. I was like, people need to know. So I was like, this is the year that I need to be visible. I need to get on as many magazines as I can, maybe even get on a cover. So I got asked over the weekend, what's one thing that you would really like to see before the end of the year? And I was like, well, do you know what? I would like to get on a magazine cover, and I will just like to talk about all the things I should be doing to get there. you know, um, because I don't know about you guys, but when you think that you're ready to start pitching to magazines and articles, and you're sending emails, maybe even making calls, and you're not really getting the replies, or you're getting nothing at all, which is quite common, right? Or you send your music to radio stations and you hear nothing. So that's quite common, and very quickly it can begin to grate on you, and you just give up, right? So I was like, well, I think maybe I need a new angle on exactly what to do, so I can get on more magazines and maybe even raise my visibility to the point that I even get a magazine cover. Because I thought that would mean that I had done a lot, or I was known a lot more. However, she said, AB, I'm going to challenge you. She said that's actually transactional. Um, and transformational will be, I want this this amount of people impacted by what I'm doing. Um, and she said, if you aim for that, all the others will fall into place naturally. So instead, let that be your marker for success. And I was like, that's a really good point, because if I say I'm aiming for magazine cover, that's actually going to be dependent on someone else, And I'm like, why would I do that to myself? Because I can't really control the outcome of that. And very, very quickly, you may just begin to bang your head against a wall, where you feel like no one is answering. But if I were to focus on impacting as many people as possible, that's up to me and that's doable, right? And the more I do that, then obviously the word spreads. And I was like, this is just a new way of looking at it. So I was like, wow, and then I started to think about other things. And she said something remarkable. She said, think over the last several months, from the beginning of 2024, and think about the things you've been really proud of. So I'm going to ask you, who you might be listening to the podcast or you might be watching this later. Can you think of a number of things that you've been really proud of? And maybe like me, you might begin to see that the things that you are that you're really proud of, that they light you up on the inside. They put a smile on your face. Actually, those things may not they may not have made it to your list of goals for the year. And that's how life happens sometimes, right? So me personally, I look back on the year and I'm like, okay, what are some of the things I'm proud of? I'm like, the first time I got to lead worship in church playing the guitar, I thought, oh my goodness, that was a milestone, because I didn't know that was a possibility for me. It just happened. Um, and it just goes to show what can happen, the possibilities, um, what God can do, you know? So I'm really proud of that. The fact that for the first time I led a worship set on the guitar and it wasn't so bad. I didn't make too many mistakes. I thought I was really proud of that. Something else, just hearing the impacts that some of my ideas and some of my songs and some of the things I'm doing, the impact that that's having, getting the feedback from parents, who might be listening to the podcast on mental health that I've done so far. Um, just all of these things are things I'm really proud of, right? Oh, hi. Thank you so much. Someone has said you did so well, AB. I'm pretty sure you're referring to the concert that I did on Friday. Can you tell me what's your name, please? Because I'm streaming from StreamYard, and you have to give me permission. You have to give it permission to share your name with me. So right now, I'm just in Facebook user. But thank you so much. I'm so glad that you enjoyed it. Um, but the things I'm proud of, really, really proud of for this year. I don't think they made it onto my list of goals. So the fact that I did the concerts, um, what else? But I really thought about it and I was like, this is interesting. And then Chloe, okay, so the lady who led the session is called Chloe Bison, Chloe Bison. Oh gosh, I'm probably not pronouncing that right. But anyways, she went on to say, "Hi, Teresa." So Chloe went on to say, "Well, can you do more of those things? Can you do more of those things?" So instead of me saying, "Well, I want to have a 5K month," um, well, how about I make more plans to impact people? More plans to impact people, more. This is actually getting me really excited, because I'm already seeing how I can tweak some things. So I'm planning a challenge the end of April. And I'm gonna start doing a lot of work just to get things ready, to get the ball rolling. Um, and when you begin to think in terms of transformation than transaction, you you start to think differently. You really do. Um, she also talked about this 2x versus 10x, 2x versus 10x. And for me, already that has made an amazing impact because I remember I started out the year and I kept thinking to myself, AB, how can I raise 10K in my music business? How can I raise 10K? How can I raise 10K? And then I was like, well, I could reach out to people I know, but is that really going to make me reach 10K? I don't think so. I think I need to do things differently. And then I went for a business meeting networking in Derby. And the guy essentially, I think he contributed to me thinking this way actually, because he said, well, if you set your goals, and instead of you to be thinking about how you're just going to hit those goals, well, can you think about how you could hit 10x of those goals? Because if you're thinking about how you're going to hit 10x of those goals, you're not going to be able to use the same strategies that you will use to just double what you were planning to do. You're going to have to think out of the box. You're going to have to go mega, big. And I was like, this is so true. There are some things that you won't be able to actually continue doing what you're doing to hit those goals, right? And that there was a shift. There was essentially a shift in how I was approaching my music and how I was doing what I was doing. And honestly, there's been a lot of growth. There's been a lot of growth. Um, so my question for you is, take a look at your goals. Number one. Number two, take a look at the things that has made you proud this year, the things that has really excited you, that you're like, yes, this is what I'm talking about. This is why I'm doing this. And how can you do more of those things? Because already, if you're thinking about it, what are you feeling on the inside? Is there joy welling up on the inside? Is there excitement welling up on the inside? Because if you can do more of those things, imagine how you're going to be feeling at the end of the year, compared to, oh, yeah, I hit 5K, or, you know, it's great to hit 5K. It's great to hit 10K. It's great to hit whatever financial goals you might be having. But you need to remember that at the end of the day, you were doing that for a reason. And your reason might have been, I want to make more impact. So I need the funds to make more impact. I want more financial freedom so I can spend more time with the children and spend more time with my family and create precious, amazing memories. Um, and this is leading me onto a story. This is why it's so important to remember your why. So there was this guy who lived in a coastal village, so by the sea, and he would go out to fish, and he will buy he would get you know enough fish that he will take back to the village, sell off, and it will be enough to sustain his family, um so that he spends a lot of time at home doing whatever I wanted to do. um he was he was able to get just enough fish that will sustain his family, but then he had time to just chill and to play football with his grandkids and to sleep in if he wanted to sleep in you know so one day he had gone fishing and he had caught the amount he needed, and he brought it back in, and there was a man who was visiting the coastal village, and he said, "Oh, hi. How are you doing?" And he started to talk to him and say, "Oh, um this catch is amazing. How what are your plans? What are your business plans?" And he was like, "Well, I'm fine. I literally just catch the amount I need just to sustain me. Um and then I don't stress. I just enjoy life. I don't have the ambition to catch a haul that I will sell for a large amount of money. I don't really have that in my plan." And the businessman says, but I can, you can, I can give you a plan that will help you, you know, 10x the amount of fish that you were catching, so you can build your business to the point where you can even move out of here with your family, get a bigger house, and to the point where you can even sell the business for a huge amount of money. And then he's like, "Okay, so after that happens, what would I do?" And he's like, "Well, you can do whatever you want to do. You can sleep in bed, you can go play football with your grandson whenever you can. You can just enjoy life." And essentially, he was going to do all of that work just to end right back at doing what he was doing already. I love that story so much because that is what happens when you forget your why. Why did you why what's your why? Are you doing this to make an impact? Are you doing this to for financial freedom so you can spend more time with your family? You know because then if you're hitting those goals, life is beautiful, life is lovely, and you actually don't need to stress more. All right, so don't forget your whys. Don't forget your whys. Don't forget that you went into the business of either music or the business of whatever business it is, whatever your vision is. Don't forget you went into that to impact lives. And if you can put that way above, all the other things will fall into place. Money will fall into place, because if you can really create an offer that will serve people, people are going to pay for that offer. They're going to pay for it. They are going to pay for it. So aim for serving, aim for impacting, and the rest of it will fall into place. The rest of it will follow. Do you get my drift? Transformational over transactional. And even for us, even personally, um, so I did that concert last Friday. Um, but for me, the fact that I called, the fact that I had all of this, there's so much happening. But I wanted to serve. I wanted to be a blessing to people in the midst of all that was happening. So I was like, "Dude, I feel like I should have a concert at this time." I had to swap out of a shift to make it happen. It took me ages. I had to swap out of a shift, and then I finally did, and then I was able to do it. I started to promote it. But I could have just said, "Oh, I'm too busy. I'm too busy." I made it happen. I invited people, people came, and they were blessed. And I'm proud that I was able to do that, that I am the person who prioritized impact to just relaxing, because I could keep saying, give to my campaign, give to my campaign. But no, I want to bless people in return. I actually want to impact people as well. And I'm putting that over everything else. And when you do that, everything else follows. Everything else follows. So, people, I hope that has been a blessing. um, Number one, assess your goals. Make sure they're transformational rather than transactional. And number three, think about the things that has really blessed you this year, the things you did that you're most proud of. Those things are most likely transformational. Put those in your list of goals for the year and think about how you can do more of them, how you can achieve more of them, how you can have more experiences like that. And then think about how you will feel at the end of the year when you look back on the year and see how much transformation you've brought to people and yourself. And imagine how proud you'll be. Now, let me know if that has blessed you at all. Leave a comment in the chat. If you're like, this is me, AB, I love what I'm hearing. I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna do it. Let me know. And look out for plans of the next Monetize Your Music masterclass happening end of April. I will start putting out some info about it. I will start sharing as soon as promotional materials become available. But put that in your diary, end of April. We are going to have an amazing time together at the Monetize Your Music Masterclass. You might say monetize your music. Why not more impact? But this is a marketing strategy that I will teach you at another time because not everyone has heard this. And 90% of people are still putting transactional above transformational, which is why when they see monetize your music, some people be like, oh, I want that. I want to be able to monetize your music. And then they come in and learn how to put transformational above transactional. That's just life for you, isn't it? That's just life for you. Um, you got to bring people in and then start the journey of transformation. So get excited, put it in your diary. I'm gonna head off now. Have an amazing week. I will see you same time next week on another episode of the Fulfilled Musicpreneur podcast. Take care. Bye for now. Oh, by the way, if you have not downloaded the Monetize Your Music in 3 Days mini course, it's still available. I'm going to put the link in the description so you can sign up and start going through it. It's an amazing course that will help you on your journey as an artist. So make sure you do that. All right, take care. Bye.